Psalm 34. I sought the Lord, and he answered me. He delivered me from all my fears. There are wounds you can't see, wounds that bleed deep inside. Wounds of the soul that time just can't heal. But there's a promise that still stands, even when everything else falls apart. I sought the Lord, and he answered me. He delivered me from all my fears. Psalm 34 verse 4. Today, you'll hear the story of James, a young man who lost everything, even the will to live, until a simple prayer, in the darkest night of his life, changed his destiny forever. Stay with us, because the story will make you cry, but it will also give you hope. And if stories of faith touch your heart, subscribe now and hit the notification bell to receive life-changing stories every week. James used to be a happy kid. He had family, friends, dreams, until a car accident took his mother and younger brother away. Since then, his soul felt empty. Every night, locked in his room, he fought dark thoughts his friends couldn't even imagine. He smiled on the outside. He cried on the inside. One night, in the middle of his pain, he cried out, "Where are you, God? I can't take this anymore." Through his tears, his eyes fell on a Bible he didn't even remember having. He opened it at random, and his eyes landed on a promise. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Psalm 34 verse 18. Something sparked inside him. Just a small light, but enough. James didn't know how to pray. He hadn't been to church in years. But that night, kneeling quietly, he simply said, "God, if you're really close to those who are hurting, then please come now, because I can't take this anymore." There were no thunderclaps, no voices from heaven, but there was something else, a sudden peace, like someone had wrapped their arms around him from the inside. He felt like he could breathe again. For the first time in a long time, he slept deeply. The next morning, he went straight to a Christian bookstore. He bought a notebook and wrote on the first page, "Day 1, God heard me. I don't fully understand it yet, but I know I'm not alone." That was the beginning of a transformation, a battle against fear, guilt, and pain. But now he wasn't fighting alone. Those who look to him are radiant. Their faces are never covered with shame. Psalm 34 verse 5. Over the next few weeks, James began to come out of his isolation. Each night, he returned to his notebook, writing down what he felt, what he thought, and what he read in Psalm 34. Every word seemed written just for him. One day, walking through downtown, he noticed a small church with its door open. It wasn't Sunday, and there was no one inside, just a single light on and a sacred silence. He stepped inside quietly, sat down in the back, and closed his eyes. "I'm here, still broken, but searching. Can you keep speaking to me, God?" When he opened his eyes, he noticed someone had left a pamphlet on the pew in front of him, with a phrase in big letters, "Many are the troubles of the righteous, but the Lord delivers him from them all." Psalm 34 verse 19. He got chills. That was his verse. James wasn't perfect, but God wasn't rejecting him. On the contrary, he was rescuing him. The poor man cried, and the Lord heard him. He saved him out of all his troubles. Psalm 34 verse 6. James's life didn't change overnight. He still faced sadness, the emptiness. But every time he felt fear creeping back, he would remind himself, "The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him, and he delivers them." Psalm 34 verse 7. One night, he got an unexpected message from an old childhood friend. "I saw something you posted online. Are you okay? Want to talk?" It was the first time James opened up to someone about his newfound faith. That conversation lasted for hours. They laughed, they cried, And when it was over, James wrote in his notebook, Day 23, God not only listens to me, He's also bringing people who understand me. He had learned something deep. When you choose to seek God, He starts seeking you too, and restores you in ways you never expected. Taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the one who takes refuge in Him. Psalm 34 verse 8. James's heart was still healing, but a new fire began to burn inside him, to help others who were broken just like he had been. He started sharing simple reflections on social media, using verses from Psalm 34. People began reaching out, sharing their own struggles. Some even called him the guy from verse 18. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted. One day, he received a message that took his breath away. Hi, we don't know each other, but a week ago I was planning to end my life, until I saw one of your videos about how God found you. Thank you. Today, I went to church for the first time in years. James dropped his phone and cried, not from sadness, but from gratitude. God hadn't just healed him, He was using him to heal others. Day 47. I don't understand why I suffered so much, but now I understand why. The Lord redeems the soul of His servants. No one who takes refuge in Him will be condemned. Psalm 34 verse 22. One afternoon, while walking through the same park where he used to cry in silence, James saw a young man sitting alone, eyes lost, just like his had been once. Something inside him whispered, "Go to him. Don't ignore that pain. You know it too well." James sat down beside him. He didn't preach. He just listened. The young man's name was Thomas, and he was going through a deep depression after losing his father. When James spoke to him about God, he didn't use big words. He shared his story, his notebook, and above all, his favorite verse. The poor man cried, and the Lord heard him. He saved him out of all his troubles. Psalm 34 verse 6. Thomas broke down, and for the first time in months, someone prayed with him. That day, James understood something profound. God doesn't need perfect people. He uses those who have been broken and healed. The eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and His ears are attentive to their cry. Psalm 34 verse 15. Months passed. James kept writing, praying, and walking alongside others. He was no longer the broken young man who cried in silence. Now he was a living witness that God truly hears, answers, and restores. One Sunday, he was invited to share his testimony at a local church. He stepped onto the platform, notebook in hand, trembling, but filled with peace. He said, "I'm not here to preach to you, but to speak as someone who was rescued. I was worth nothing, but God loved me anyway. And if He did that for me, He can do it for you too." The whole room fell silent. Many were crying, because when someone speaks from brokenness, their voice carries power. When he finished, he returned to his seat and wrote in his notebook, Day 103, God healed me, so others can heal too. The righteous cry out, and the Lord hears them. He delivers them from all their troubles. Psalm 34 verse 17. Today, James walks with a heart full of peace. His painful past hasn't vanished, but it no longer defines him. He's learned that even when life brings storms, there's always a safe refuge, the unshakable love of God. Before going to bed, he opens his notebook and writes one last reflection to share. If you're hurting today, remember, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted. Psalm 34 verse 18. You are not alone. Your story isn't over yet. God can rescue you and give you purpose. And you who've heard this story, are you ready to take the first step? Don't wait any longer. Seek God today. He's listening to your cry. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more stories of hope and faith. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss a video that could change your life. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers them from them all. Psalm 34 verse 19.